his Cash App. So we got the right Cash App in the links right now. It's the capital SIK, capital APE. So it's another dude that he probably got an S at the end to scam off of Raw shit. I'm telling you, man, it's some niggas out here, bro. These niggas watch. They know Raw hot. They know we hot in the game, and they say, "Oh man, these niggas, we could get a kickback off of these guys. We could get an overflow. These guys' cups overflowing. We could get the shit that fall off the crumbs. The dogs can get the crumbs off the master table, man. That's the damn fucking game right there, bro. It's we Africans. Africans think we slow as hell, bro. I'm telling you.
No, they don't. You know what
Go
they
ahead.
think? They
Go
think that
ahead.
we are the type that squander more than we should.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They look at us and how we neglect to pool our resources and block external forces from ruling over us. By doing that, they looking at us like, shit, if y'all gonna just give money away so freely, I might as well get some of that free money.
Yeah, that's what they doing to us. That's what they doing to us. They like man, Rod, you cracked heads on this one though. This was like I say, we did a lot of tapes. We got like probably over 150 hours worth of tapes. Man, this right here was a good one. This right here was one of my top ones right here, bro. With it, because I'm into this the Mortal Kombat type, the what you call that dude? Not Cage, Johnny Cage, the dude that be doing the fire. Liu Kang. Yeah, Liu Kang. I'm into that type of, that breathing and just like Bruce, like, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna forgot to ask you, Raw, about Bruce Lee. So you was telling me about Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee was a bad dude. Now there's some dudes out there that I heard of, the dark skinned brothers, Nubian brothers that were badder than Bruce Lee, but they never got the exposure as Bruce Lee. Yeah, but Bruce Lee, you said that he got set up on his murder or something. It was big, something dealing with it
He
with
got
the
extracted
Shaolin.
by the Shaolin masters. So it's layers. We were looking at Tai Chi earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's the artistic form of martial arts. All of that we see is the artistic form.
Yeah.
And in the martial arts, every artistic form has practical fight application for the combat student. No matter what field of combat you come from, you know when you see the dance how to use certain moves in actual combat if you understand combat.
Okay.
Right? Like even the Aikido that Steven Seagal was using when he was a youngster. Right? That's a ballet. That's a ballet. That doesn't work if he's in catch-as-catch-can wrestling and they hitting him in them joints.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The style of martial art is not a true combat sport. Right? But now, behind all of that, there is a combat group. A group of masters that train their body where they can use their chi to fight you and not to touch you.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? And they got masters who can hit you with a ball of fire from across the room.
Yeah.
Right? But they are all held back. Right? They can't be exposed to the public until the Earthborn reclaim the Earth, and all the masters come out and hide.
Right. That's right.
Right? Because the nature of the conflict was spiritual warfare. Right? Being fought in the public domain in front of everybody's face behind their back. Right? So Bruce Lee come out and Jeet Kune Do is teaching you how to see the combat element in every martial art. So they say he was teaching the guy G, and they were supposed to develop their own martial art.
Okay. Their own style from what like the basics that he taught them.
No, he wasn't supposed to teach them. They were supposed to develop their own.
Based on what they is.
Yeah. So now when you look from his training, they did use his techniques to develop their own martial art. Now he spilt over secrets into the open. He have to go into seclusion.
Yeah.
But he can't have people come looking for him.
So fake is there.
Right.
Yeah.
So take him off the scene. Right. Allow him to be seen long enough to get the message out So now when we look at combat sports, judo produced the Gracies
That's
in
right.
Brazil.
Ross Grace.
This is all the influence of Bruce Lee opening the floodgates to study Eastern martial arts. Okay. Then you have the Israeli Secret Service. They developed something called Krav Maga.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
These all form together, flow into something called mixed martial arts.
Go ahead.
All disciplines funnel to the mixed martial arts arena. Right? So it's all science. Then all of that is a side effect of Bruce Lee popularizing the martial art.
That's right.
Right? Some of the best movies now got martial arts, but when you go back to movies from the 50s and the 60s, they was just good ass acting. Now they got good ass kicking.
Yeah, good ass kicking, right? Yeah. I feel
right. So you see the influence one man can have on the global culture.
That's right.
In a short period of time by using those same principles of magic that we talked about throughout this video. He's a living example of that.
Yeah.
Right. And then he was able to leave a legacy of champions behind him, people that actually was in the fight game.
Yeah.
You know, people that trained with him who became notorious ass kickers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, you got different styles of fighting and they do different stuff.
Yeah.
Based on the enemy you combating with. Sometimes you got to be creative, and sometimes you just got to hit them straight in the jaw.
Yeah.
So when you understand the sciences of the art, and then you start to put it all together, it start to make sense.
Yeah. Like Major Payne said, he said, I'm gonna put this foot right side there. He said, oh, you think I'm joking? And they can say, oh, start moving his feet. Then he chopped him in the throat. He went down. He said, you thought you was gonna kick me. He said, calling me a liar. Boom, kick that nigga, man. I said, oh yeah.
Hey, you know that's a parody of Billy Jack.
Go ahead.
Billy Jack was a half-breed.
Okay.
And they caught Billy Jack in the field. And this is one of my favorite movies when I was little, Billy Jack. But they caught him in the field and he told the man, he said, I'm gonna take this foot, whop you on that side of your face, and then the damn thing you're gonna be able to do about it. And then he did that shit, man. We thought that was the dopest.
Total nigga what he gonna do, did it to him.
Yeah, but Billy Jack was about a native that was half pale face.
Oh yeah, I might check that out.
Oh man, you ain't never seen Billy Jack?
Oh man, and I watch. That's my favorite type of movie.
That's a cult classic.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
I can watch Billy Jack all day long.
You ever seen?
I can watch it on repeat.
You ever seen?
So he had set his tribe up on the reservation, and he became the chief by default. In the process of this, his duties is to protect everybody on the reservation. And in the meantime, you got these townspeople moving in with their unruly teenagers that's raising hell on the plantation. On the reservation, and harassing the kids when they come to town for ice cream and shit.
Okay.
Right. So then when they finally go too far, he do what he do. Now they want to arrest him and put him in prison. 110 soldier.
Yeah. That's fire, man. I'm gonna check that movie out. I like I say, I collect cowboy movies. I got just about every cowboy picture you can think of, man. 310.
Yeah, it's actually, it don't take place in cowboy days. It take place in like the 70s.
Okay, just recently then, like
yeah. So it's supposed to be going on in like Arizona in the 70s or the 60s.
What? I might check that
out. The Flower Child generation, the Love and Peace era.
Yeah.
Right. He come back from, I think, Vietnam War.
Okay.
And he the default chief.
Yeah.
When you do what chiefs do, when you violate the community, now they want to bring you in the army and take him in.
Yeah.
Literally bring you in the army.
Damn. You know, Rod never let us down, man. That nigga like guaranteed. He like guaranteed on your money back. They go tell it. Tell that nigga USC. That nigga Rod Hayes USDA approved, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? USDA approved. I think, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got to like the five yeah, Chief Big Mac, baby. You know what I'm saying? Chief Pontiac. Yeah. Like, I found out too, Rod. What you know? That's what I was gonna ask you. I found out that the and the Anarchies, they had came over here with a Great Lake set, and they said that's why somebody said the Denver Nuggets. That's why they call the doing in Denver and Colorado. They said that the mountains, it was just nuggets laying on the ground over here, and that these
Man, listen,
go ahead.
the people on this land didn't we didn't take gold like that. Gold, we was in tune with nature.
Right, go ahead.
Gold was just another rock to us.
That's why I was just laying on the ground.
That's why we failed to find gold anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We don't hold material like that value on things until somebody else come over here to exploit us for it and use it for value. Then now it becomes the new standard of value.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people don't know, but at one time, the most important thing to harvest was cowrie shells.
Wow.
Cowrie shells was the currency.
Wow.
He who had the most cowrie shells was the richest man on earth.
Dang, that's crazy.
They ain't worth a damn now.
That's crazy. Like I say, I think the way this going, man, a penny gonna be worth more than $1 because a penny is real copper and $1 is just paper. Like this, a penny is
penny, not real copper.
Well, not the new pennies,
check that.
Right? The new pennies, right?
None of this new stuff real. All of this is facsimile.
Hey, what year would you have to go back to get a real copper penny? What year does they start making those?
Like well, 60s? They will still make them in batches.
Okay.
And they normally try to keep them and to do business among themselves. Mm-hmm. And some of them trickle out into the mainstream, and you'll find one here and there.
Yeah. I noticed that. I think it's like somebody was telling me like 1967. That's when you for sure.
There was a time when where all of the coins was minted with what they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. So 100 pieces of copper used to equal 1 piece of gold.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And 2 pieces of silver used to equal 1 piece of gold.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it was 5 pieces of nickel used to equal a half a piece of gold or something like that.
Yeah.
These all became currency denominations under the U.S. Mint because now they want to control whose face is on the currency. Mm-hmm. Back then, there was no face on the currency. Some people did it for decorative purposes for their family bank, like in John Wick.
Yeah.
When they're looking at the gold coins, some people had their coins minted, with the tribal totem, like you had the buffalo nickel. The buffalo was the totem of the Buffalo clan. Woolly-haired, muscle-bound big niggas. Angel Bay and them.
Go ahead.
The Tatanka. The big bulls. Right? Big Mama called them in case of emergency.
Yeah.
And they trampled the whole land. That's why they had to kill all the bison. And that was the symbolic of killing us too.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Oh yeah, somebody else asked me to ask you this before I forget. They said, "What's the connection between?" Because they say they want Dion. They say Deion Sanders is one of the chiefs on the land. Now he graduated from the Seminole Indians in like Florida, right, for college. Then he went to several teams, but now he was at Jackson State, but now he's going to the Buffalo. They say, and people saying it sounds like an alchemical connection between for Dion going.
He actually said it was.
Okay, go ahead.
And he actually said he was tying back into his roots.
Okay, that's man.
And that this was taking him back to his people.
Dion knows something.
Right. Everybody think he talking about HBCUs, whatever the fuck they is.
Yeah.
But he talking about tribe. Back to the land, back to his people, the totem. So if he fall under that totem and he moved back to anywhere that's using that totem, it give him honor and distinction among his clan.
Man, that's fire. That's fire, Rod. That's fire. Because everybody was saying, I say Buffalo, got to be a connection. Because Dion definitely that damn Indian. That's for sure. He got the long nose. All of us got that nose. You got it. Like you could tell the Indians because they got this nose. That long.
That's called aquiline features. That's how they knew us when we went to help the Europeans get from under Moorish oppression. A lot of us don't know that.
What?
We landed in Ireland and we went into the Iberian Peninsula to help the motherfuckers fight because they had slaughtered all of the so-called chiefs in Ireland, the snakes. The ones who taught the sacred wisdom.
Okay.
So we went to go investigate.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones of us that went was warriors. It's a record. It's not a secret.
Yeah, they know. They know. Like I'm gonna tell you, Rod. Man, I want to show you something, so I can show you. It's and I'm about to go ahead and do tapes on this. So I really wasn't gonna show nobody, but I'm gonna show you that not the stuff that Rod's saying about the dirty Moors and all that. I found a doctor that verified every single thing that Rod is saying. Let me show you this. I want to show y'all this receipt before we get out. Shout out to 12th Elder, man. Because the 12th Elder is one of my background research guys. And he listened to all our tapes with Rod. And he said, man, that stuff Rod is teaching, people think that he making it up. He ain't making none of this up. All right, so we got Dr. Carrie. Carrie is her name. All right, she put out these different pamphlets. Right, hold on, let me turn this background screen out real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so these books, she put out these little newspaper pamphlets. Right, we got she got like 15 of them out. Right, I'm gonna start teaching directly from these joints. Right, but everything Rod Hayes is saying. Now I'm gonna show you this. Look at this, Rod. Look at this. This is gonna blow your mind, Rod. It ain't gonna blow your mind, but this lady is putting all the receipts. I don't know if she came out with this after we put this out. It seemed like that she came out. Hold on, let me tell you what.
It might be a year in there it was published.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. March 2021. Watch this. Look at this. This lady she must have been listening to your video, bro. Tell me. Look at this. What it say right there. What she put in that book.
George Washington Challenge.
Look at it. It's all right there, Rod. She got the everything, all the receipts, everything you be talking about, Rod. She got the whole storyline in these books, word for word. I said, damn, this man, that nigga Rod, boy, the boys they sleeping Rod, bro. This lady is a doctor, and everything that Rod teaches about the dirty Moors and about who they are, where they come from, is in all these books, all these little magazines that this doctor put out. This her right here on the back. You see her right there on the back. A Nubian sister. She looked like she looked like one of them ancient Egyptians.
She looked like my big sister from a little bit I could see.
Yeah. This her right here. Hey, shout out 12th Elder, man. Marie Charles, Dr. Marie Charles. This lady has got word for word almost, Rod. I can literally go word for word in these books of your class. And she put this out after you was talking about that, because some of these books just recently came out like a couple months ago.
Well, you know, I had a whole thing on the invasion from 2019.
That's what I'm saying. I got receipts from 2019 from you off your page of this same information. So all the books she put out is here from March 21st all the way up to now. And it's like word for word, like the classes that I say, oh shit, they even got like the links and everything. I was like, oh, these people must be starvation, death, starving people. But if you are fast, people go 40 days. Dr. Sabi went like a whole bunch of days without eating.
Man, I did all kind of fast. The longest one I did was about 60 days.
Dang, you that's discipline right there. They take discipline.
Man, if you look at when I first came, how my face was all drawn up.
You was skinny, Rob. I'm telling you.
That was from all that fasting I was doing.
Yeah, you was no fat. You want no fat.
I was doing fast back to back. A 3-day fast. I eat for a couple days. Take a 7-day fast. Eat for a couple days. 14-day fast. Eat for a couple days.
That's as long as I ever did.
Then finally, I got to the point where I was done fasting. I had achieved what I was trying to accomplish, using that control of self as the mechanism to control myself. Because by right, I'm supposed to be the one on a mad rampage and tow this motherfucker up from coast to coast.
Yeah, ape shit.
Right. But when I get the discipline, I could see an advantage to following the script. We almost at the end gate. Ain't no sense of bucking the motherfucking order when you can use the order to take over. Right.
Right.
Chess.
Right.
Not checkers. Right. So you don't want to tear it all down if you can utilize some of it to make your rebuild easier. This is why I say we got to catch the government before it totally collapses and start to rebuild a new government. But people not understanding that concept yet.
I feel you on that.
The government got to fall to the point where the people can't deny it no more before they would even consider rebuilding a new government.
That's sad.
Right. And then when you tell them start at your local government, because that's where you got your greatest control, right? They still don't get it. Right. There's certain people that's going to always be the mayor, whether they're in office or not. That's a chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that chief, they going to always, the mayor going to tell you, going to tell you to do something, and they're going to go ask the chief. You can't help it. It's the nature of the people.
Yeah.
So when you understand the nature of the people, you adapt and you adjust. There's chiefs all over the land about to reestablish their jurisdiction.
That's right.
But the people got to be cohesive as a unit enough to understand how they was using the divide and conquer mechanisms to turn the tribes of the earth against each other. You know, because some of them might have a little bit more Anunnaki blood than others. They look down on.
Yeah, right.
I'm more God than you. Well, how much God do it take to be God?
One drop.
If you God, look, and if you God, how much God do you have?
Yeah, right.
How much God are you? If you got either half a God or you're not, demigod, what is you?
That's right.
Right. So when you understand that the force that is, when it's activated mitochondrial, this is what makes this 12, 11-year-old boy a grandmaster.
And chess.
Yeah. He got the discipline already. And then he got the structure and the love of his parents to make him want to be better at what he's doing.
That's fire, Rod.
That's why they want to break our families up.
That's fire.
The father is the motivator. Whenever you upgrade yourself, your kids gonna upgrade themselves. They can't help it. They seen their daddy do it. They got to do it when they get a certain age. They know they got to do a certain thing. Mm-hmm. But we don't know this. And they try to erase it out of our culture. But when you watch great men, you find that a lot of them lived and died around the same age because we didn't know they had to stop them at certain ages before they allowed them to continue on and take over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So when you're looking at Malcolm and Martin, they both 39.
Wow. Go ahead.
I think Noble Drew was 39.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Marcus Garvey was 53. Elijah was 63. He was 10 years past their order. That means he had set up a good system they couldn't penetrate.
They couldn't touch him. They're done.
But he knew he was infiltrated because Malcolm told him.
Yep.
Because Malcolm knew who they was because the police had thoroughly infiltrated the Nation of Islam. He told them in the public. And that's why they always assumed that certain people was in on it until they find out that it was exactly who Malcolm said it was. It was the police and the FBI.
Yep. That's right.
That's who he said it was the whole time. How did Elijah know he was infiltrated? And what did the motherfuckers that infiltrated look like?
Like us.
So you got to know there can't be no pale face behind it. Yeah. And the same thing applied to Marcus Garvey. The same thing applied to Patrice Lumumba, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Jomo Kenyatta, and the Mau Mau. Everybody is being betrayed by somebody that looked like us. So then the elders left the message for posterity: get rid of the enemy within.
Right.
And you won't have to fear the enemy without. What they mean by that? Why they leave that for us? So this is how you speak to the future. They call that hedging your bets. Because some of us believe our elders better than we believe this current system.
That's right.
Right? So now you get to the Nubian part of the UNIA. Because Malachi wrote everything from a family book to a constitution,
right,
to multiple fields of study in the degrees of Mohammedanism, Christism, degrees of Mosesism, right?
right.
Answering the 360 questions for a Muslim, the 360 questions for a Christian, and the
Hebrew.
360 question for a Hebrew Israelite.
That's right. Right.
Right. So if he know the answers to the questions, why they don't know them?
That's a good question.
It ain't that they don't know them, it's that they are under a selective ideology that was predicated upon the false teaching.
Okay, go ahead.
And by accepting the reality that you've been deceived, now you got to accept that reality and you have to deal with it to improve yourself in that regard. That's called learning to protect yourself from evil. Insulate yourself from false teachings. Right. That means anything that's rooted in fear, that you need to study that without fear. Right. So Noble Ali say, I'm gonna make the European tell you the truth.
Yep.
So then next thing you know, you got an onrush of European thinkers in the sciences and in the churches.
Whistleblowers.
You got Mary Baker Eddy. Right. You got Madame Blavatsky.
Right.
You got Manly P. Hall. Right. You got Aleister Crowley, Franz Bardon. And they all carrying heavyweight information. You got Rudolf Steiner, Israel Regardie. And they dropping it heavy. But you know we ain't paying no attention because you want to have something from a nigga, put it in the book, right?
That's how you got to do. That's what they say.
So if your elders make them tell you the truth, how you gonna know the truth if you don't go where they put it? In the library, where they bury their lives.
That's right.
The truth there, but you got to go dig that shit out.
That's right.
Right. So now we learned that they play word games. They play board games, mind games, political games, assassination games, war games. These are the games of the guys played out on one board in the galactic chess.
Go ahead.
But you play it like you're playing it in a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
You put your headphones on and you get absorbed in the game so much that you lose track to the reality that you're just playing the game. The game of the gods. You don't ever control it as long as you be a victim to it. It's right in the rules. The victim can never be the controller of the fate of others until he becomes the victimizer. And the only reason why the victim becomes the victimizer is to overthrow oppression. He victimized those who victimize his people.
Right.
Right. So the keys to magic is the keys to unconditional love, control of the self, and the discipline to become what you will. Then the part that you want to develop, study it. Study the mythology, the fiction, the non-fiction. If it's science is on it, study it. Because the more you understand it, the more you can control it. As you practice it, the stronger you get in the function. You can make the chi accumulate in your hand to be hot or cold.
Right. Go ahead.
But if you don't understand the usage of it and you don't practice, you ain't going to be good at nothing. And the practice is doing it until your subconscious have it locked in. Mm-hmm. Muscle memory, subconscious memory. Repetition until you absorb it. The same with hypnosis. You got to go through a repetition in order to get put in hypnosis.
That's right.
And you got to be in a alpha wave state, theta wave state to absorb information. So you got to understand the states of mind. How do you facilitate that state of mind and then practice? That's the hard part because nobody got no discipline no more.
It's one of the best tapes we dropped, bro. I'm telling you. This right here, I love this information you give me right now. I needed this. I needed this information for the cheat because that's what I'm studying right now. This harnessing the air, harnessing the energy because all the energy is in the air. So the power is in the air, in the breathing. And we've been talking about that for the longest. And just breathing and absorbing Like when you notice when niggas, when you make somebody mad or they finna get ready to fight or anything, they always take in some air first.
Yep, deep breath.
Or the cool off, even the cool off or the calm down. They say, or even when you get get hit, like you hit a bone, hit a funny bone or something, you go take in some air, baby. Ooh, oh, that shit hurt. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the science of breath.
Yeah.
That's a book. But practicing different breathing techniques give you control of different bodily functions.
Pain, you can control pain through breathing. You can control pain through breathing.
So the more you understand the breath, that's spirit.
Yep.
Spiritus mean the breath.
Go ahead.
Right? That's the word spirit. Spiritus. It's Latin. Right? I mean the breath. The function of the breath is to facilitate the oxidization of the materials that you use as a waste product. When they oxidize, that's when the body starts to burn. The burning is the sensation of the conversion of all of that stuff into some usable substance for your mitochondria to power your DNA.
That's right. Go in.
If you go to the mitochondria, you'll find that in the mitochondria is the matrix. And when you unravel this secret, as we just went through it, you unraveling the keys and the source of the matrix. So when they tell you that God is a man and you tell them God is a woman, now they'll understand it a little better. X-Men Academy.
Right. And that's what I was gonna tell you too. Like when women having a baby, they say breathe. Go on, you know, when they're having the baby out, they say take some deep breaths, relax. You know, so like it's gotta that I think the beginning of the chi is discipline. It's discipline, like you said, then harnessing the air energy. It's something doing with the air, how they gather in that power, because the electricity, all that work with the air. So it's getting the air. Yep.
Yeah. That's what you're using for Prime Creator to relay the information to your mitochondria. You gotta remember, if you study epigenetics, you know that we projected into ourselves from somewhere else. And if we projected into ourselves from somewhere else, that means we got to be in a remote location where we not in this form. Right? And we being projected, the inner workings of the mechanism is telling us that the self is projected through the mitochondrial and it's reading his book of life off the DNA. The DNA is giving you your instructions of why you came here and how you need to move in order to get your job done. Genetic memory.
Do this, Rod. Like, so we got our babies, right? We got these babies that's advanced. I'm telling you, my baby is advanced. How do I start? Do I start training them like you were showing in this tape? Like start blindfolding them, make them catch a ball, make them do this stuff, make them read, doing like this, like they could talk.
You gotta know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you need to understand what the mind doing.
Okay.
If you understand what the mind doing, then you can instruct them better. Okay. Like, I don't give a cookie cutter for everybody because every child is different in how they need to be taught.
Okay.
But it's some things that you can teach them, no matter what their learning style, that'll help them grasp and translate information quicker.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, we need to teach our children speed reading.
Yep, you was talking about that.
As soon as possible. As soon as they got the phonics, they got a program I like. I ordered them and I end up having to cancel my payments on them because their business practices didn't match their product. Their product is excellent, but their business. Anyway, the IQ reading program, right? It uses what look like video games to train the eye to perceive faster.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple of side effects come with learning speed reading. One, it broadens your peripheral vision, which means it allows you to see a larger spectrum on the light spectrum than you normally would see. You also pick up information faster. It was a movie, a series just come on USA. This dude, his father was a cop. And his father was teaching them at an early age how to pay attention to detail. Sight. That's the name of it. His father trained him how to pay such close attention to detail until his mind began to register details without having to really look for them.
Yeah, but just automatic.
Right. Because it was redundantly taught and embedded in him at an early age. You gotta remember the Jackson Fives used to get out of school and rehearse till it was bedtime.
That's facts. Go ahead. I was gonna say that. Go ahead.
You know, look at Beyonce Knowles.
That's right.
They can say what they want about her, but if you look at how hard she been training from a child,
that's right.
Right, she can only be what she is because she trained herself to be that. Yes. If her self-confidence match her skill development, she has to reach that level.
That's right, bro.
That's just the law of nature.
Tiger Woods, same thing.
Yeah, same with Tiger Woods. Same with the Venus and Serena, whether whatever them people say they is or not. Yeah. But the thing is, you can't take away that all of their childhood they practiced.
That's right.
And they became good at faster pace than the average child.
Right.
And then they took over.
That's right.
It is what it is.
God. Yeah, so you got people like, and then like the people that start out like Mayweather. Mayweather was doing it when he says he was a kid. His dad. Yep. So now he the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Like, they mentioned Kobe. Yep. LeBron too.
Yep. Yep.
LeBron was playing with NBA players, and at a young age, they used to come into his town to play with him.
That's right. That's right. Kobe too. Kobe. Yep. So a lot of these cats that's come great. A lot of them, some people. Like if Michael Jordan, he rare. He said like I think he started playing in the 12th grade or something like that. Yeah, he rare. You know what I'm saying? He became the GOAT. He rare. But like you got some people, they never even tap into their potential till later on in their life. They figure out they could have been the GOAT.
Call them late bloomers.
Yeah. Late bloomers. Go ahead.
Yeah. So some of us go through hard life to be the best elders. All we doing is training to be in the position we truly want to be in. So if I go through life and I learn how to kick ass, take names, get rich, and play games, now I know everything I need to know to have fun with my family when I get old. So once we get to the point where we can become the elders, now we can enjoy our family the best. Right. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm a late bloomer. I could have did this shit when I was 8 and told these people that there's some strangers on the land, but I couldn't tell them exactly where they was at.
Yeah, they probably would have took you out right then, bro, like they did Lil Chief, Lil Horn. What his name is?
Yeah, talking about Emmett.
Yeah, Lil Emmett. They would have took you out like Emmett. Emmett might have said something. They heard him, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's."
I'm telling you, man. I know exactly what happened, man. When I'm reading the story, I'm like, this is a repeat. Yep. That's Chief Little Horn.
Yep.
He would have had this motherfucker turned upside down righteously, right? So imagine you merge Malcolm and Martin together all in one person. This is what he would have grew up to be because people would have responded to him like that. His thing was whistling the war cry. In the South, it's called Whistling Dixie. It became that during the Civil War, but it's an old tribal war cry. Some of them use a little flute made out of wood.
Okay.
But some of them just learn to whistle with their mouth. Okay. Chief Little Horn, if he come back, he gonna always be a whistler.
Uh-huh.
And his whistling gonna make him famous all over the land, and he gonna be able to use that as the cover story, like E40, to join the Chiefs behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So while you using your art to get you into places, you're using the places that your art take you to make your connections. Right? So we got different levels. And we got to start tapping back into the old structure and the old ways in order to remember who we is. So that's the keys to the sorcery on the land, that natural magic.
Hey, Rod, I'm waiting on him right now, Rod. Yeah. Rod cracked heads and twist caps on this one. This right here, one of the best ones. This one of the we got a lot of tapes, Rod. This one right here is one of the top ones, Rod. This is hot. I like this. I like this tape. Yeah, this was a good one because this right here taught us the next level information. It says, "Do looking in the mirror mess with your self or esteem? Does looking in the mirror mess with your self esteem?"
It's the conversation you having with the person you see in the mirror, whether you use it to tear you down or build you up. You can't never allow nobody to convince you to tear you down. Always build yourself up first, because that's going to make your real tribe come to help you build you. When they see you doing the self work, then they gonna come and help you work at the other stuff that complements that. So if you building yourself to be the king, by the time you get done building yourself into king status, you got a kingdom under you.
Somebody said, "How do they find the chief owner land in the Philippines?"
The Philippines is matriarchal. They looking for a big mama.
You already pointed that out on the 007 tape. I think you showed the big mama for that area in the 007 tape. Yeah, go check out that 007 tape, Mission Goldfinger, when Raw was pointing out the different matriarchs that were controlling the land in Asia. The one in Asia, he showed that lady that was connected with Mother Khadijah and what it was Farrakhan's wife and Elijah Muhammad's wife, and there was a couple more ladies.
That was Imelda Marcos. She's not here no more.
Okay, they took her out.
Yeah.
Wow. It says what you think about geometrics? A question. Not related to the subject, but
can you post the question up? Because I can't see it.
Yeah. Okay, go right here. We got a $5 shout out Carlos, man. Shout out Carlos. Not related to the subject, but can Chief talk about the Burkhardi? Man, I can't even say what the hell. It's a certain tribe. Boricua. B-O-R-I-C. Borica.
Oh, those are Puerto Ricans.
Okay, all right. Oh, Puerto Ricans. Okay, all right. Puerto Ricans from the like our Latino light skinned brothers.
Yeah, so Puerto Rico was annexed by the conquistadors. The conquistadors is using you see Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico was an island where the thieves was keeping their stash at before they moved it back to Europe.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So they built military outposts, Spanish outposts on all corners of the island, and fought the natives to the center of the island. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So once they finally once French lost, they moved their wealth. Now they moved their wealth back to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
The Spanish did.
Yeah.
This is when they set up. They're getting ready to set up Switzerland now. In the banks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now the natives eventually fight the conquistadors to a stalemate on the island.
Okay.
Some of them stayed and corrupted the priesthood to the day, but most of the priests there are back to the old ways, know who the ones that don't belong there and that's using the priesthood to exploit the people. That's the only way you know the difference. When you're looking at the priesthood, the ones begging for money, exploiting people, offering them to do conjures, that's not what a priest do.
Yeah.
That's all kind artist shit.
And we got another one, Skyfi. Shout out Sister Skyfi for the super chat. It says, Rod, what's up with the month of May? They said something big's supposed to happen in the month of May.
Well, you can't say what's gonna happen. You can look at the stellar alignments. And according to the stellar alignments, the energy that's coming to the earth, and something should happen according to that energy. But you can't never say exactly what it is without past frame of reference that lays over the future. That's why they say look back to see the future. Yeah, so it's the alignments. If you don't have a similar alignment to the event, you won't have a comparative analysis to figure out what the event going to be.
Yep. All right, somebody said, Rod. That boy Rod cracked heads on this one. It says, what about those whose mother abandoned them or had a toxic relationship with their sons? How do the sons receive the mitochondrial energy? I guess he was trying to say.
The female he get with
Okay.
is going to come in to clean up his mother's generational curses. He got to be perceptive enough to know she there, or he gonna miss her.
Okay, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah,
Big Mama always send somebody to reground your mitochondria. You can't be on the land unrestricted mitochondria wise from the sisters. You always gonna have a relative or somebody that's gonna be partial or that's gonna take on the responsibility of honoring the mother role in your life. You know it until later on.
Yeah.
All that time.
Yeah.
Damn, right now when I look back at all of the people that pass codes to me coming up, I'm like, why do we not be more consciously aware that we code flipping even as children? The children's games, all of those children's games, hopscotch and all that, those were training programs. All them games that we double dutch is from here. Double dutch ain't from nowhere else on earth but the Americas. That's where it came from. Right?
I never learned.
Yeah, but other cultures have a similar practice. Like in Asia, they got this thing with the bamboo poles that looks like they hopscotching.
I know what you're speaking of.
But that's all how we learn how to read the culture versus the training we get in the educational system of miseducation and deception. So when you get older, you becoming an elder on the land, right? You coming into who you are, you're responsible as an elder to tell everybody what you see until they understand what happened to our people so we can break free as a collective. One of us can't break free and leave everybody else in bondage. We have to find a way to free the most people we can free are the earthborn, right? And that's what I have been working on. And the task is so big that when Everett X told me what I had to do, I said, man, I don't think I could do that. He looked at me and started laughing. He said, you got this.
Yeah, because here you are.
I did not see my capabilities. Then you got to keep in mind, I'm coming from perception of others of me. I'm an idiot. I ain't really that smart. Right. So now I got to learn how to find out how to read all these different tribal customs and traditions across the land to see what's going on with our people. And then I keep seeing these sore thumbs pop up. That's not how we move. Who is this? Signing treaties to sell land? Where did these people come from? Who is these people signing these treaties? This ain't us. They land. We don't believe that you can sell Mother Earth. That's like somebody saying, yeah, I'll sell you my mama. It doesn't compute to a seasoned chief that becomes an elder.
Right.
It's irrational logic. I can't sell you my mama, fool.
Okay.
Right, so when you're reading in the treaties that Chief White Dog, what the fuck? Who is this? It's talking about that you can buy this land. So that's how we know that there's imposters on the land, because they not moving like the tribes. All that stuff made up to trick us. And I'm gonna keep saying it until we understand it.
And that's all we can do is keep saying it. Some people gonna catch on. Some
now they about to catch on fast because we're getting close to end game. We getting close to the big rollout.
Yeah.
Right.
Very close.
Yeah.
My dreams, I tell you, my dreams. I don't even see how I get rest. From the time I close my eyes, I wake up in the morning. It's like I'm everywhere.
Yeah, we do a lot of traveling in our dreams. Now remember, if you notice, the time in a dream doesn't match the time of the sleep. You can be in a dream and go through a whole week and wake up 8 hours later. But in the
Yes.
dream, you lived a week.
Listen, Brother Rod, that is so true. The other day I lay down and I woke up. I was like, oh, it's almost time to get up. I slept so good. I had only been asleep for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was time to get up. So that's
You
true.
know, I went through years of insomnia. I used to read myself until I fall asleep. That's how I ended up reading so much material. Couldn't sleep. I had to read at least about 30 or 40 pages to make my eyes tired enough for me to fall asleep. That add up fast.
Well, I don't have that problem. As soon as
Yeah,
I lay
but
down,
what
those
I
eyes
ended up doing,
close.
I ended up training myself to use water as a sleeping agent. So when I start every night when it's time to go to bed, I used to drink a big cup of cold water and go in my room, cut off all the lights, close my eyes, go to sleep. After a while, my body got used to when I drink the water, that means it's time to go back to sleep. So when I started experiencing my bouts of insomnia, I smashed a big cup of cold water. I'm out like I took a sleeping pill. And it only took me about 3 months to train myself to do that. Now I could do it at will.
I drink cold water before I go to sleep as well.
Yeah. Most of us build up a dehydration anyway, because we're not properly, our system's not working at optimum levels, and it causes more water than we would normally need to run the mechanical system of the body. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So when we drink that water, we hydrate the system. Now the system can start doing repairs, and it does repairs when you resting, when you sleep.
Okay. Yeah, my body, I used to drink juice. Now all I want is water. All the time, all day.
Yeah, I went through phases: juice, water, pop, juice, water, pop, and then I found out I was calibrating to energies doing that. When I was going through a phase, I only got the appetite for this. And then I said, okay, I'm calibrating myself. Then I had to say, well, who energy am I calibrating to with this particular thing? Whether it was, I got an overwhelming craving for chicken. Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
tapping
you.
into me. I'm tapping into me. I love fried chicken. So, but when I go through I found that when I'm trying to channel my mama, I get an overwhelming craving for Pepsi. Well, most of my life, my mama drank Pepsi. Before that, she used to drink Royal Crown Cola, but then they mostly went out of business and forced her. She didn't like Coke, so she started drinking Pepsi. So now, if my mama trying to tell me something and I can't hear her, I'll just get a craving for Pepsi. And then it ties the sympathy into my mama and her Pepsi that puts me in what's the nostalgia and reminiscence to recall her energy, and then she can communicate with me.
That's funny because a lot of times I think like my dad is trying to communicate with me. Like I'm still grieving him. It's been 2 years. I'm the only girl. I was a daddy's girl. And I just crave like these beef sausages all the time. My dad he was like the sausage connoisseur. He was die for a good sausage, down south.
That's how he communicate with you. The way that you open the two-way channel is when you get the craving, he got a message for you. Right? So you go, whatever his favorite sausage was, try to find that one and cook that one. And it's closer to his energy. You got his DNA signature part of who you are. And when you do something in the physical world to call forth the energy, now you can align your codons on your DNA to allow him to download information directly to you from the genetic tree, from the family tree.
Okay. I'm going to find that sausage.
Yeah. All right, sweetie. I was gonna make this my last one. I'm trying to take one more call before I go.
All right, brother. Thank you. Gratitude.
Okay, you're welcome, sweetie.
Hey,
Hey.
I was trying to get a hold of you forever.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm all right, not too bad.
Where you calling from?
Ohio,
Ohio? You right down the street anyway. What part?
not too far. How you been?
I've been doing pretty fair for a square.
That's good. That's good.
What you want to talk about today?
I've just been trying to talk. I don't know what it was I was supposed to get in contact with you about, but a while ago, I had inboxed you a couple times, and you had came to me in my meditation, and it was just said I was supposed to get in contact with you. This when you was on Rod Hayes, and you be so busy though. I hit you up we had never connected, but I don't know what it is we were supposed to.
Do you have Cooks in your family? Last name Cook?
Not that I'm aware of.
How about Griffin?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. This is checking because you look like one of my cousins.
Somebody did I hear somebody say something? You know what? My cousin did just say something about some Cooks being on our side of the family. I want to say she did. My grandmother. I think she did say that.
See, is she from around the Magnolia, Mississippi area?
They are from Mississippi. I'm not sure what area.
Find out.
But,
it ain't gonna be hard. You gotta do is call. There's a couple people in your family you call, you know everything you need to know.
There's the one I could call. This is the one that told me about the Cook. But they changed their last name to Lop, L-O-P-P. They Lops or Keefs now.
So in the tribal tradition, when you used to, when they crop a dog ears?
Yeah.
They used to call that lop. Right. She changed her name because she's telling us somebody's trying to cut the line, trying to cut the family tree. So she had to hide. She had to conceal herself. She had to lop her ears off.
She married my grandfather, and his last name was Lop. And she changed their last name.
He might be the one who was hiding from the enemy, because he's the one carried the last name. It's normally tied to a profession too. So if he was a dog man, he could have got that name from being from a long family of dog men. They crop the dog's ears and tails and stuff, right? But that was a term that you would hear when somebody's trying to cut off the family tree right before we went into the amnesia.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I know, we was in fucking amnesia. Yeah. Now I gotta try to piece this shit back together and give it back to us.
I'm trying to. And I know it's a lot on my mom's side with them losing their land. I know my grandmother had a bunch of land in North Carolina, and it illegally got took. And they got an airport.
Yeah, all of the Carolinas going back to the Gullahs and most of Florida. The Gullah Geechee Big Mama is gonna have to reassign land. It's not a grant. It's you responsible to caretake this area.
Because I know she full-blooded, and she was full-blooded. She was Blackfoot and Chippewa Indian.
Yep. So when they started saying Blackfoot, that was a name we got from traveling across the desert. We didn't wear shoes during the desert, right? And the sun used to cook the feet darker than the face. When we got over there, the feet were so dark, they laughed at us and called us Blackfeet.
Oh, wow.
That's a different clan. Yeah. They a splinter clan of the Iroquois off of the Crow. It's a couple more clans. I can't think of them all right now. But they was all branch family tribes that came to fight the Gullah Wars. Yeah. This is how we all end up in the Southeast, concentrated in such high number in the Southeast. And when they do their surveys, they can't find us in the other parts of the land. We was fighting war. And then they wanted That's why they came with the slave narrative. That keep us from rebelling against the war that they imposed upon us. Right? So the whole system, Plato's Republic, being played out in our face behind our back.
My grandma used to always say, I don't know nothing about no slavery. I wasn't no slave. I don't know nothing about slavery. Like, they teach y'all that in school? I said, yeah, grandma, they was teaching us we were slaves. She was like, nah, we owned our land. We wasn't no slaves. We had stores, land. We ain't slavery. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, they came to the mainland to fight in the wars. Once Chief Pontiac and Toussaint beat the French, they was done over here. They was done over here. They had no more business. They lost twice. Right? And because they lost, on their tail end running out, they sold the protectorate agreement, but they didn't really have a protectorate agreement. They made that shit up. They had sacked Port Nola down there. It was we didn't call it that. The French named it that. Right. But we had a base. This is where the intake was to the land. Right? But once they invaded, it ended up where they first settled in what we call the Northwest Territory. Right? Northeastern Territory, what we call the New England states. The New England states is where they came in, so that became where the immigrants was brought in at. It's buffering you out, sweetie. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, it was buffering you out for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once we beat the French, they leave. They sent the Statue of Liberty back to tell us who was behind it. Statue of Liberty, Queen.
Yeah. They don't know. I know I'm getting my land back. It's coming back. I know I ain't even gonna have to fight for it or nothing. It's coming back.
Mm-hmm. The bigger picture and the little picture. You have to look at what's immediate around you, and then you got to look at what's playing out on a bigger scale. This whole system, they keep telling us not executive orders, but presidential announcements and congressional announcements of how long we got. And they telling us when it's going to all fall apart. And it's about fell apart. So whenever the AI can stretch out, I don't know what the last governmental function is going to pay for. But once that's over, there's no way to hide the new rollout of us. This is us, right? So we've been under other people's philosophies and opinions of assholes for this long. Now it's time for us to raise these matriarchs back to their place so Big Mama house can be put back in order. And that's all it is to it. It got nothing to do with me, and it's nothing personal, right? So it is what it is.
What?
I'm going to leave the European here just long enough to teach you how to run a government.
Man, no, but you all leave. It's hard. I'm going
now,
to teach myself.
Look at what their job is, though. Long enough for what?
To teach you how to run a government. Wow.
That's number 46. That's Tariq Bey.
Wow.
You see where it say I'm going to repeat myself?
Yeah.
That's Tariq Bey constantly saying over and over. It's civics. It's civics, and they trying to make us believe that it was a religious organization.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's what that is. That's how I knew when I was looking for Taj. What was the other quote I sent you? Another one by him too.
Yeah, right here.
This Angel Bay right here. The door is locked and the angel came and took the key away. That's the unity key. The Ali key. Right? That's Angel Bay. 38, mama's gun. My mama used to carry 38 in her purse.
Right. Yep, my grandma too.
When she first started going to church, it used to still be in there.
Yep.
She had been going to church some years before she cleaned her purse out. She had a battle kit in that motherfucker.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Them old school women. My grandma was scrap.
Type in most feared black woman in America.
I got you.
She is an indigenous lady. If the picture come up, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But she was they call her the most feared black woman in America.
This lady right here?
No, that's not her.
Okay. Let's roll down. Take a look. Yeah.
There she go. Yeah. See where the sister got right up. That's her.
Why the FBI hide the story of the most dangerous black woman ever? Hold up. Yeah, there she go, Rod. Her name is somebody else took the picture. Damian White took the picture. Her name is Lucy Parsons, born in slavery 1853, made in her life mission to fight for the poor and disenfranchised. So she was in Chicago, and her was starting in Texas. Then she was to flee to Chicago. Hey man, I'm gonna do some research on this lady, man.
I know. That's why I brought her up. I've been intending to put you up on her sooner.
Yeah, man, I'm about to check this lady out, man, because she